Welcome to the Mindfulness of Healing. This is Mercedes Warwick. The Mindfulness of Healing is an associate program of sacredkey.com. I invite you to like this video, to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done that, and if you have subscribed, push the bell icon so that you will be notified when I do videos and post them. I don't post on a regular schedule, so you always check back, but it's always nice to get it while it's fresh and the first notification. So this is part 3 of my personal practice and how I got started. And this is the frequency of love. When I was diagnosed with cancer, and I guess I'm going to be telling the story, I was not happy. And I really truly believe that I activated cancer in my body. I didn't manifest it or attract it. I need to make that very clear. Those are subjects for another video. But I do believe that I activated cancer in my body. Every indication of a physical ailment or discomfort had pointed towards my hormonal system, and my menstrual cycles were all wacky. And so if I had to say that there was something that was going to go amiss, it was going to be cancer, because cancer, this particular cancer, is driven through my hormones. And that was just a theme in my life. But I was very, 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 let me give you one more, very unhappy in my life. It had been a struggle. I was exhausted. And even though I was being of service, I don't know how I would say it now, but I did not know, I will say that, how to take care of my energetic fields, as I was putting out so much energy towards helping people and the channel itself. And I was going through some change. I was going through some material changes in my bank account, in my financial fluidity and security. I did not feel safe. I was not food safe. I was not housing safe. I was not financially safe in the physical. And now I would say, come into the unknown. There was just so much unknown. I felt like from a very realized energy actualized in life. It's really happening. I don't teach everything as an illusion. I don't. I think it causes more stress. But I do teach that everything is realized energy actualized in life, real. And what that means is that for me, it gave me a place to go to say, in my body, in my human in my human experience, this is what's going on. It's not comfortable. Now I would say, this is not comfortable. I have the ability to change the frequencies, dial into a new channel, something along those lines. But at the time, I did not have the knowledge, the awareness, or the insight that I have today. I was very unhappy. So I wasn't going to commit suicide necessarily, but I really think that I maybe activated, maybe I committed a spiritual suicide in some ways. And that's going to be very controversial, and I understand that. But when I was in the hospital and in medical crisis, as it were, and my team, my guidance, my crew, my sisters were saying, you staying, you going, because either way, we're going to help you. And I said, I don't know. I don't want to stay unless I'm happy. My sister says she can remember that very clearly. I am not staying unless I am happy. And here I am, and I have been through stage 4 cancer, and everything that it has brought, that comes with it, is the happiest I've been in my life, truthfully. And it has not always been pretty. I mean, there's been times where my friends were putting food in my refrigerator. Okay. And I'm saying that to say the second part of this. So let me give you the definition of happy, because I think I think happy gets a bad rap at time. So happiness, my guidance, this is a guidance wisdom key for me, was happiness is being content and satisfied in each now moment. So happiness is the state of contentment and satisfaction in each now moment. And I have adjusted it just a little bit to say within each breath. So happiness is the state of contentment and satisfaction within each breath. And what that one statement has done for me, and I got it very early on in my cancer experience, was that this moment, like I am talking right now, I don't know what's going to happen after I finish the video, and I was in that 6 months to a year, maybe 2, lifespan, I don't even know what to call it, but anyway, what the doctors do at times. And I'm sorry, I just went off thinking about that time. And so it got real very quickly. I got clear very quickly. And when I think that in a way, the fact that my lungs were affected turned out to be a true blessing, because I couldn't do all that athletic stuff, breathing in and breathing out and fire breath. I couldn't do any of that. I had to be literally, okay, I can only breathe in this far, and then it hurts. So I'm gonna reduce it 10%. And so I'm gonna breathe in, and then I'm gonna exhale. Every breath is life. As long as I have breath, I have life. Life is present. And believe me when I say that was a whole heck of a lot more than I was probably thinking at the time. At the time, I was literally just feeling my hand on my stomach, my hand over my heart, and just feeling my body move through the breath. And the life force, the God force, the living energy, I don't have to think, okay, now I have to breathe. The life is moving my breath. The life is moving my heart. The life is digesting my food. The life is allowing me to see. The life is allowing me to hear. The life is allowing my kidneys to filter, my bowels to move. The life is allowing my liver to filter and detox. It is the life. As long as there is breath, there is life in the physical. And as I take my last breath in the physical, I live until I live. I live until I live eternally. That was the other thing that I prayed. I guess I'll use those words. Every word is a prayer. I live until I live eternally. So there was not a death here. There was not a death at the end of each breath. There was a new life, a new way of being. And one of the biggest things that I had to get through was I used to have this big red afro, and people, this kind of my signature. I have beautiful, thick, natural, good textured, in those soft textured curly hair. I guess for African American women, we go through all these descriptions of our hair, but I had a fine head of hair, okay, and the hair started falling out, and I was so not aligned with my identity in that hair. I mean, when the hair, I tried to hold on to it as long as I could. Probably could have shaved it off when it first started coming out in handfuls. But, I've got this picture of my hair, just, literally you could see through it. And then I finally just shaved it off, and two of my sisters came over, and I don't know if they got together, but one brought the wigs and the other ones helped me put them on, and I looked at it and said, this is not who I am right now. And I never wore a wig. One time I think I went to a Christmas function and I had a fun wig and I put it on, but other than that, I've never worn a wig. And that was my choice. I had to learn that this was going to be my now. My now is this. My now is this. My now is this. My now is this. And I have a wave. I have a wave of peace that will flow through me when I know that I'm in alignment with the next decision or the next test, the next meal even. Because cancer, sugar, and all these things, estrogen responsive cancer, breast cancer, there's so many things like turmeric. Turmeric can actually drive estrogen responsive breast cancer. Now, who would know that? Unless and one day I got a hit to look up turmeric, and sure enough, went on the one cancer group that I use for knowledge and see other women's experiences, and sure enough, turmeric wasn't the best thing. So for estrogen responsive breast cancer. So I started getting sort of those intuitive hits. The third piece of this, which is very important. So in the first video, I did I am that I am. And what I am that I am did was allow me to feel the substance of God. And then Yahweh allowed me to feel the frequency and the energy of God. Love, the frequency of love, allowed me to feel the divinity of myself. Because at that particular point in time, while I wasn't tied up in my physical identity, no eyebrows, no hair, period, no eyebrows, no eyelashes, no hair, no nose hair, so obviously a change in a very dramatic change, but at a deeper level, I needed to come into the frequency and vibration of love. And there is so much more. I do a whole thing, the circles of consciousness, the I am, love, I am, circles of consciousness, for this very reason. Because I have seen it. It's like I am not loving myself right now. I am not even this person. Who am I? Physically, I can't do what I used to do. Emotionally, I don't have a partner. I don't have an intimate partner right now. I'm not in a relationship, but I've read and heard ladies saying I'm all dried up. I don't even know intimately who I am sexually. What is my sexual person? Who I am. But my thing has been, I think that we go through this anyway, irrespective of cancer. I think that, or your particular mindfulness of healing. So this is not just a cancer environment, but irrespective of whatever you may be going through, you're not the same person you were in high school. You are not probably the same person you were as you came into adulthood. You're not the same person you were as an infant. We evolve. This is that I always say that as you see change, that is a human condition. We evolved. I'm not the same person I was yesterday. And so we come into an acceptance of that. I think that I came into an acceptance of that quicker and very dramatically, that I had to come into the acceptance of I am who I am in this moment. So I am satisfied with myself in this moment. I am content with myself in this moment. And if there's anything that is causing me to not be in those things, I have the power. I can experience. This is a culture of I can. That's another thing that we talk about, but I can experience happiness as my true nature. I can experience happiness in this situation. I can express love in a situation that is dramatic and traumatic. I can express to myself that I am loved. So there's a couple of things that I started, and this video is probably going longer than I wanted it to go, but there's a couple of things we do in As One Womb, the once a month group that we do with women. We do self-care. We do different expressions of self-care, because as I heal, I can heal the world. As we go through this experience, we are bringing something to the world. We are worthy. We are valuable. We are, I want to say we are contagious, right? But how we, and I think that's true. Actually, that was the word that came. But now that I'm thinking about it, I think that's true. I think my joy is contagious. My despair is contagious. My love is contagious. My gratitude is contagious. My patience and humility is contagious. People are watching. People are seeing how you are moving through this experience and how you are expressing yourself. You are a divine expression, even as you're going through this experience. So I found and am finding, because this is I'm a work in progress, that I have to do things that are expressly loving for myself. Got a new shower head so that I can stand under the water. For 4 years, I didn't have a shower that I was comfortable in, and never changed it. When I got into this place, I got a new shower head so I can feel the water. This is a very spiritual experience for me. Showered, long showers, so I could feel the water literally at the top of my head and pouring down my body. And I have a whole visualization. I can now do that. That was a loving expression. I might not have spent the money before, thinking I was going to be in lack, thinking that I wouldn't have enough to get whatever. And so, got the shower head. I do self-healing. So if you are familiar with Reiki, or self-massage, reflexology, all of those things you can do to yourself. I have a background in Reiki, yoga, and Qigong. What I am finding through this expression and relationship with the divine is the divine will actually move my hands to different places in my body. But I make sure, especially over these last 5 or 6 weeks coming out of the chemotherapy, I have made sure that I sit, one of my sittings during the day is self-healing. All right. I have come to understand that there are certain things that I have to do in order to be loving and caring for myself. My dental hygiene has been a point of contention, because at one point my medication did not allow me to go to the dentist. So I have not been to the dentist in a long time. So I have to make sure that I keep that I rinse and I have the right toothbrush, a softer toothbrush, and that I am taking care of my dental hygiene as much as I can with the medication that I have, with the parameters of the care that I'm currently receiving. That was an expression of love. Okay. I sit and bathe myself in the frequency of love. And that's what we're going to do now. We are going to, I keep leaning forward because there's a clock there and I don't have my glasses on, so sorry about that. But I am going to, we're going to go through what we just did with Yahweh so that you can feel the vibration and the frequency, because it's not just saying, I love you, which is part of the consciousness of the circles of consciousness. but it is also stirring up the vibratory frequency of love. So I'd like you just to close your eyes, take a couple sighs of release. Remember, staying within your own capability. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. And guidance is saying this is of most importance. So there they are. This is of most importance. That's what I'm hearing. Most importance. To come into an awareness of loving self. Breathing in, exhaling love. 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 Humming. Love. 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 Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Amen, amen, and amen. So, those are the 3 foundational practices that I use to move into an experience and an expression called healing. Namaste.